Hello, everybody, and welcome to Starting Small Music. I'm Justin McCormick, and you're about to hear a conversation with an artist, musician, and music industry professional on their journey and how they got to where they are today. At Starting Small, we like to take you on a journey uncovering the untold stories of your favorite songs and artists. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Just keep a smile on your face and it'll be okay. Try not to be bitter, you gotta do it either way. Keep a smile on your face and it'll be okay. So when life throws a jab, you gotta duck out of the way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Starting Small Music Podcast. Today we have artist and songwriter Rob Pennington with us. How you doing today, Rob?
What's going on, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing great, man. So getting right into your story, you grew up in Georgia. What was your childhood like?
Man, so I'm from around Statesboro, Georgia, which is it's easier for me just to say that it's closer to Savannah, Georgia, but it was, I guess you could just say your cul-de-sac dream, man. Like if you've ever watched the show, not the movie, but the show of Friday Night Lights, my life's kind of like I guess Coach Taylor. My dad's was the football coach at the high school for 20 plus years. My mom was an administrator, or still is, or I say administrator. She's like the testing coordinator at the high school. Played football. Little brother played football. It was just kind of a small town where everybody knew who you were because you're the coach's son. So, sure. But yeah, man, I had a good childhood. Played sports. Went to church. I mean, just kind of your typical, just kind of down south Georgia kid. That's how I grew up.
For sure. Now, what are your first early memories of like consuming music? Any artists or albums stand out in particular?
So like going back to my parents, so my spectrum's a little bit different of music. My mom, like, was kind of more of the rock stuff. Like she listened to Styx and like Boston and stuff like that. And my dad was more of like a Temptations, Four Tops, all the Motown kind of stuff. And
oh, cool.
I actually didn't pick up a guitar until probably early high school, late middle school, and I fell in somewhere in the middle of doing like Christian music. So I did like the church band. Did all that kind of stuff. And like my first concerts were like Third Day and Jeremy Camp and Big Daddy Weave and people like that.
Yeah.
So that's, and then somewhere along the way I got into like, 90s pop rock, like the Goo Goo Dolls and all that kind of stuff. So sure. That's kind of where I guess my influence or the beginning of music kind of happened. I was just kind of a wild range.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
When you picked up your guitar, was it just something to do because you were bored, or was it something like, oh, like I actually want to try to like learn this? Like I think I can maybe do something with it.
Well, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Back in the day, people, you did things for girls. So we picked up a guitar for girls to see if they'd like you. And to this day, I don't think it ever really worked, but kind of got a niche for it, man. Just kind of I'm no no rock star by any means, but just to be able to kind of hear different noise, different veins of music, and just kind of having different things, you kind of learn how to do it. So I guess the main reason, I guess, to answer your question was to pick up chicks, but then you realize you can kind of hum to it, and you're like, oh, I guess we'll pick up a hobby at it,
For sure. Now, when you were in high school, were you already thinking that you might want to do music as a career? Because I mean, I know that Georgia is just a vessel for creating country music songwriters and artists with Luke Bryan, and I mean, so many names. Were you already thinking this is something you could pursue, or was this not even on the mind at the time?
Oh man, it was way off the map, dude. I had like I said, I was just like in the church band, through middle school and high school, and then kind of went to college and really didn't play music out or anything. It was more of a, like I said, you get home from class in college and played the guitar. Well, I mean, I guess long story short, in college we were doing, it was like we used to call them late nights after the bar. We were around a bonfire and there was a guitar and I just started playing. And this dude that worked at the bar, one of the bars in Statesboro, was like, "Hey man, do you ever play out?" And I was like, no, never. I mean, not like country music or or like Tom Petty, Last Dance with Mary Jane or anything like that. No cover music like that. And he's like, "Dude, what if I got you like a 2-hour set to play on the porch or something? I'll give you whatever, $100." I was like, "Sure." At the time, $100 is, you're a rich man in college, you pay for a bar tab. So whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, man. And I mean, it kind of just took off from there. Like I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like you can play, you can do this besides doing the church thing. And so I did that in college. And I know I'm kind of rambling on, but it wasn't until college that I didn't know that like songwriting was a thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of I just always assumed, oh, the artist wrote their own songs and it was this and that, and they just appeared. And I didn't realize until college, a guy named Blaine Rhodes, he actually lives in Nashville. He works over at Tape Room. He was in the same fraternity that I was, a little bit older than I. He would always, especially like on the weekends, whenever we were, hanging out or pre-gaming or what, he'd always have these songs that like nobody's ever heard of. How do you get these songs? It's like, oh, this is a demo from so and so, my buddy, sent me. And at the time I didn't know, but it was Cole Swindell. He was trying to do the songwriting thing at the time. He was still doing merch for Luke. They were sending Blaine songs, and I was like, well, I want to learn how to do that. Well, then kind of full circle, Cole was actually in the same fraternity I was. He would come back to Statesboro, and I finally met him. And that's kind of how the door opened. Of like, okay, songwriting's a thing. So that, I guess that's how I learned about that. I wanted to be a songwriter at that, around college time. So
Sure. Do you remember any early conversations with Cole, like when you guys first met? Maybe because he probably hadn't had any cuts yet at that time yet either. Do you have any conversation when you guys are both like talking about maybe trying to do this as a career?
Yeah, he definitely didn't have any cuts back then. He, I mean, I'm trying to think what we used to talk about. I just remember back in the day, this is before as one of his first cuts. I think it was right before Roller Coaster. And he sent me, there was a song called on Luke Bryan's, one of his first albums, called Beer in the Headlights.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, man, you write, 400 songs in a year, but if you can get this one song, it makes the whole year worth it. And I just remember like conversations like that, man. And, and it holds true today. Like we write 300 songs, but if you can get that one that just clicks, it's just like, oh, it's just nothing, there's not a feeling in the world like that,
No doubt. So did you finish college or did you end up moving to Nashville during that time period?
Oh yeah, my mom would have killed me if I didn't. I was on the 5-year plan. I finished at Georgia Southern, best college in America. And then I actually took a job in Savannah, Georgia, doing, I was an equipment provider for a company it was Neff Rental at the time, but we provided contractors with, equipment. And I was still toying with like, do I really want to do this? Do I rather just make money and, just be like a normal, I don't want to say normal person, but like just be content living in Savannah and being able to get back to Statesboro and go to Georgia Southern football games and that kind of stuff. And then, life kind of happened and I wasn't really content and wasn't happy. And then one of my other buddies, just through the Georgia circuit, playing the bars and just knowing different people, Ray Fulcher was already actually up here at the time. And he's like, dude, you got to do it. You got to do it, man. What if you get 10 years down the road and all the ifs and what it could have been and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up being able to transfer within my company. There was a job open with the Nashville branch with the same company. So I transferred, which got me to Nashville. And then that's kind of when the work kind of began. I still had a big boy job, but I was able to network and kind of meet different people and find out, all right, this is how you do this and this is how you don't do this. And um, that's what got me to Nashville, doing that job at the time being, for sure.
Now, is it through Ray that you ended up meeting Luke Combs? Had he already made that connection?
It's a little bit, it's kind of crazy. It was kind of through Ray, but it was actually through another guy from Statesboro, and I'm probably butchering the relationship up. But a family friend of mine, wife's sister is Luke's cousin, and I probably just butchered all that up. But long story short, back in the day, like when Vine was the cool thing to do. It was cooler than TikTok. And like that's when Luke was kind of popping off on Vine, and he was trying to do like little bar circuits and stuff. And long story short, we emailed back and forth because I was trying to get him. I did a little bit of booking at the is my thing messing up on the sorry.
Something's being weird, but
Flip it up, mess your thing up. Sorry.
nah, we should be good. When it exports, maybe it'll be okay. You're good to keep going.
Okay. Maybe just the audio.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so we had just emailed back and forth because I was trying to get, because I helped sometimes at the bar, one of the bars in Statesboro, with the booking of player bands and stuff like that. So anyway, we had just emailed at the time. I'd never met him face to face. Well, when I got to Nashville, it's through Ray, and we finally kind of we knew who each other were, kind of put everything together, and that started that relationship there.
I got you. Were you trying to do anything on Vine at that time too?
I mean, we were all trying to do something on Vine, but mine was more of the, slap cam kind of stuff and pushing people in the bushes, like the funnier things instead of the music.
I got you. Now, so when you were first moving to town, were you wanting to pursue an artist career or a songwriter career initially?
Yes, I would say I was trying to do the artist thing for sure. Just because I thought I could, back, and I think that's what a lot of people, when they move to town, you're kind of the big fish in a small pond. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, heck, I can sing, why not trying to do it? So sure. I try to do it artist, and I put out some songs and all that kind of stuff. But I think I was kind of, my heart was more behind the scenes, and, doing the problem solving and putting the puzzle together, finding the hook and all that kind of stuff,
For sure. I mean, honestly, I'm a big fan of your music as an artist. I love your song, Messed Up Makeup, which you wrote with Ray Fulcher and Chris Rogers. I love the line, Maybelline ain't made to Maybelline ain't made to be running down your cheeks. What do you remember about the day that you wrote that song?
Goodness gracious, that's years ago, man.
And I think I saw somewhere that it was like 4 years you sat on it before you released it too, right?
Oh yeah, it's even older than we released it. And I don't know, I just keep coming back to it. I'm trying to think. It was something funny. Like whenever we write with Ray, he's always got this like not crazy story, but it's just like, Ray, come on, man. He's like, but I think that day, I never make women cry, but I think he had made a girl cry. And I was like, man, come on, you can't be messing up her makeup like that or something. And that kind of and Chris was like, well, that's what we're writing today, messed up makeup. So that's what we with.
Now, you have a really cool story on how you got your publishing deal with 50 Egg. Luke Combs actually personally calls his co-owner, Tally Canterbury, at 50 Egg and tells him, like, you need to check out this guy's music. What does that mean to you to have, like, these big power players in country music vouching for you, saying, like, you need to listen to this guy?
Oh, man, it's kind of an unreal feeling. And, it's still kind of hard to fathom how it happened and when it happened. And just, just for them to, especially Luke, to, take a risk and take a chance on an old buddy. It's just, I can't thank him enough, man. I'll kind of just go into a quick story, but it was right in the midst of COVID, man. And I was still working the the construction job, and the tornado had just come through Nashville. And
Yeah.
if you can imagine, like, just people needing generators and pumps and what excavator, whatever you name it, like, we are crazy. And just, I mean, honestly, from what I've kind of been told, like, the story is like, when everybody was going through, COVID, doing the COVID mustache, I had posted a picture on Instagram and I had a mustache, and Luke was like, "What's going on, man?" Or, what's Pennington been up to? And he was actually with Ray. He's like, "Oh, he's still trying to write songs. He's still writing the job. He's still doing the construction gig." And it's like, we're going to change that. And I mean, a matter of, I've been getting worse with my math. What's 3 days? 72 hours. Like, I had a meeting with Singleton and Tally on that Monday. We talked about an hour and a half. Tuesday, I get a text from Tally. She's like, "Send me more songs." And then Wednesday, I get a text from Tally. She's like, "Hey, can you hop on a Zoom at 2:00?" And I mean, I'm in my truck with a mustache, and Luke's on there, and it's been a minute since we've like talked, and he's like, "All right, dude, we're gonna do this thing. Let's we're gonna give you a publishing deal, and we're excited to work with you." And it's just been off to the races there, man. Little victories here and there, and I'm just enjoying the journey. It's been a cool experience.
For sure. Now, when you're sending songs to them, were they just like iPhone demos, or were you like recording like professional demos at the time, trying to push the songs?
Oh yeah, man. We call them underground demos, man, where we pay some dude $200 and you go stand in his closet and sing a demo. And at the time I'd made a couple friends with a couple of track guys. So I had some demos, but I did send some work tapes just for the differentiation, and, just different songs with different people instead of, I thought I could just send every song that I've written with Ray, and they were like, "No, we need to hear what you can do with other people," which makes sense,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I sent them kind of a little bit of everything.
For sure. Now, how many days a week are you writing now at the point in your career?
Oh man, they keep me busy. I like being busy. I don't like sitting around, but I'm usually 4 to 5 days a week.
Gotcha. Is there anyone that's new to town, any new writers or artists you see that you think might be the next big thing you've been working with?
Man, that's kind of I've been working with this new kid. He's kind of popping off. Josh Ross. He's from Canada.
Oh, yeah.
We've written a couple songs, and he's just got something cool about him that, like, it's just you kind of gravitate toward. And on top of that, he's a cool dude. Let's see here. That's the one that comes to mind, man. I'm kind of just been in songwriter mode here lately. But just your typical, like, the Dylan Marlowe's of the world. He's actually from where I'm from. Like, I think he's going to be a star. It's kind of funny, all the people that, if you would have asked me on this podcast, 6 months ago, I've been able, bang, bang, I would have said the Nate Smiths of the world, that when I was could work with them and stuff like that. I just think, it's a cool time to be at country music, man. It's like people are they're figuring out, like, it's like the re-90s grunge stage, if that makes sense. It's like,
yeah,
we kind of do this with Nirvana and all that kind of stuff back in the day, but now we're just kind of doing it with there's a cool little grunge stage with, like, the Bailey Zimmermans of the world. I would kind of throw Josh in that realm. And then you've got, like, I still hadn't been able to put a finger on what you call, like, the Zach Bryan of the world, like that,
almost like indie country kind of.
Yeah, indie red dirt kind of stuff, man. It's like, and they're just coming out of nowhere. And then you have, like, the Megan Maroney's of the world that are like, it's like a cool, but it's like a cool old new Miranda types thing. I don't know. It's just a cool time to be in country music, and it gives us the songwriters, like, the freedom to kind of push the envelope a little bit, and instead of doing your same format of, I don't want to say something cliche of trucks, beer, and girls, but you can say different kind of stuff. You can maybe cuss in a country song, so it's kind of a cool time.
For sure. Now, one of my favorite cuts of yours too, with an artist that's had a lot of momentum recently, is Lily Rose. Wrote her song "In My Drinks." Do you have any memories of the day you wrote that one?
Yeah, so I actually wrote that with Jordan Gray and Jamie Davis. That was our first time we ever, all three of us worked together. And we had been struggling coming up with a idea, and Jordan kind of popped off. Said, "Man, I got this thing. Like, if we could do kind of a play on words of like in my drinks, within my dreams, and make it kind of a lonely type thing." But he was kind of doing it where you drink to forget about her or something, but I think he misspoke. And as soon as he said it, it was like, "I only see her in my drinks." I think he was trying to say, "I don't see her in my drinks," or whatever. And me and Jamie looked at each other, was like, "That's it."
Yeah.
Like I only drink to remember it and all that kind of stuff. And the song kind of wrote itself. Honestly, if me or Jamie, we're kind of two, I don't want to say rednecks, but Southern gentlemen, with our twang.
Yeah.
And how and Jordan's a country dude too, but the way he sings and he phrases things, if me or Jamie would have had the demo, then it probably wouldn't have got cut, because Jordan just does a cool job. And Lily and Joey Moynihan, they crushed that song. It sounds great. And that was, I guess that was my second cut I had here. And she's just an absolute great person, and she's they just killed it, man. They just killed it.
No doubt. Now, when you come into the writer's room, are you the guy that has just 100 titles in their phone? You're throwing out title ideas? Or are you more of a pick up a guitar and start doing a melody?
I like to call myself a chameleon, man. Whatever is needed in the room, I've kind of figured out how to play that role. Don't get me wrong. I've got millions of titles and ideas and stuff in my phone. I do like being prepared. I like having something and going into the room. But man, sometimes like I won't even play either. The room just might need a hype man or just some dude just to be funny. Like I'm kind of I think I'm easy to laugh at and not laugh with. I don't know if people just laughing at, I'm just kind of a goober, man. And, just sometimes just a positive vibe is all you need, or just kind of just a different outlook. So I think I'd like to say my role is more of a comedian. I feel like I have good melodies. I know I've got good ideas, but it's just kind of whatever role. Because if I'm in a room with, let's just say James McNair, and let's just say Ray, well, I know James is going to have melodies. I mean, he's just going to have them. And Ray's pretty going to have pretty good ideas and lyrics. So my point is you contribute which way I can. And, that way I'm just a hype man or kind of, I don't want to say hype man, maybe a decision maker, but like,
yeah,
I like what you're saying here, but maybe we need to say it a different way. That's another role that I've had to learn to be in a room, is kind of be the decision maker.
That's cool that you say that too, because I've heard a lot of people say that about like Ross Copperman, like he's like a cheerleader in the writer's room. It's just like, well, how does this make you feel, kind of stuff, It kind of sounds like you can do that same kind of thing, just pulling things from people.
For sure.
I like to close my interviews by asking, what's a piece of advice you'd give to an aspiring songwriter that's maybe thinking about making the move to Nashville here soon?
Man, in a world where everything is instant and instant gratification is there and you get results, bang, bang, I would say the music industry is not like that at all. It's the complete opposite. Every now and then you'll get some kind of somebody that pops off, writes first time and gets a single, but I would just say remain diligent and just hang in there and just, stay humble and hungry, keep on fighting and be it, make every relationship genuine. I know that was a bunch of stuff in one thing, but I made it like 5, but like,
oh yeah.
I would say just get to Nashville, be genuine in your relationships and remain diligent and just work hard, man. And it might not pay off in a month. It might not be a year. I mean, it took me 6 years. I've been in that town 8 years. and it took me 6 years to get my first publishing deal. And that's when the real work begins. But just hang in there. That's what I would tell them.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment, and check out my music on all streaming platforms at Justin McCormick. See you guys next time.